Welcome, everyone, to today's podcast discussing a Bible study on how God will judge Satan and the fallen angels. You can read the in-depth study on my website, The Church of Firstborn, and also on my main website at A Matter of Truth.
This conversation is powered by Google Illuminate. Check out illuminate.google.com for more. Welcome to the discussion, everyone. Today we're tackling a pretty fascinating theological question. How will God judge Satan? And is Brother Mark suggesting a connection to Jesus' life and reign? That's a big one.
It's a complex question for sure. The text hints at a judgment, but the method isn't exactly spelled out.
Exactly. The passage mentions the prince of this world being judged, but it leaves a lot to the imagination, you know?
Yeah, the author seems to be leaning towards a judgment based on revealed truth and witness testimony, more than like a literal accounting of every single action.
So Jesus' life, as a perfect example of righteousness, becomes a pretty important standard then?
Right. The author points to Jesus' life as, a kind of counterpoint to Satan's actions. Is that a fair interpretation?
It's a strong argument. I think so. Jesus' life embodies perfect obedience and love, which is a stark contrast to Satan's rebellion and deceit.
So Jesus' life becomes the benchmark against which Satan's actions are measured? Exactly. The author suggests that Jesus' perfect life and subsequent exaltation serve as the ultimate standard of judgment.
Interesting. It's not a judgment based on, like, a checklist of sins, but on a comparison to a perfect example.
Yeah, the emphasis is on truth and faithfulness, qualities that Jesus totally embodies.
The author also highlights Jesus' role as a faithful and true witness. How does that play into the judgment?
Well, Jesus' resurrection and ascension establish him as the ultimate witness to God's justice and truth.
So Satan's judgment isn't solely based on, like, a divine decree, but also on the testimony of Jesus?
The author suggests a divine judgment, but one that's validated and witnessed by Jesus, the ultimate authority, right?
This shifts the focus from a purely divine judgment to something more participatory, I guess.
Yeah, it emphasizes the importance of witness testimony in establishing divine justice.
The discussion also references Acts 17:31, which talks about God judging the world through a man he has ordained. How does that fit in?
That verse supports the idea of a judgment mediated through Jesus, the ordained one.
So Jesus isn't just a witness, but the instrument of judgment.
The author seems to be suggesting Jesus as both witness and instrument, which is a pretty crucial distinction.
This interpretation emphasizes Jesus' authority and role in God's plan of redemption and judgment.
It's a nuanced perspective, highlighting Jesus' multifaceted role.
The idea of a participatory judgment is interesting. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
It suggests a judgment that's not solely dictated by God, but also witnessed and validated by Jesus.
So it's not a unilateral decision, but a judgment with a key witness?
Exactly. Jesus' role as witness adds a layer of transparency and accountability.
This approach makes the judgment more relatable and understandable, I think.
Yeah, it emphasizes the importance of truth and justice, witnessed by the ultimate example of righteousness.
It's a compelling perspective, shifting the focus from abstract divine judgment to something more tangible. Some might argue that this interpretation diminishes God's sovereignty. How would you respond to that?
I don't think it diminishes God's sovereignty, but rather highlights his use of Jesus as his chosen instrument.
So it's a demonstration of God's authority through Jesus' actions and testimony?
Precisely. It's a collaborative effort, showcasing both God's power and Jesus' role in his plan.
This interpretation emphasizes the harmony between God's sovereignty and Jesus' role.
It's a balanced perspective, avoiding extremes of either divine absolutism or human autonomy.
What are the broader implications of this interpretation of Satan's judgment?
It emphasizes the importance of living a righteous life, mirroring Jesus' example.
So our lives become a reflection of the standard by which Satan will be judged?
In a way, yes. Our lives become a testament to the truth and justice Jesus embodies.
This interpretation offers a powerful call to live righteously.
It connects our lives to the ultimate judgment, emphasizing the importance of our choices.
How does this interpretation illuminate the nature of divine justice?
It portrays divine justice as not arbitrary, but based on clear standards and witnessed truth.
So justice isn't blind, but informed by Jesus' life and testimony?
Exactly. It's a just and transparent judgment, not a hidden or arbitrary one.
This interpretation offers a more accessible understanding of divine justice.
It makes divine justice less abstract and more relatable to human experience.
The author frequently references Revelation. How does that book inform this interpretation?
Revelation provides the framework for the ultimate judgment, with Jesus playing a central role.
Wow, that was a great discussion. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.